All right. Unit 1-2, trimester 1 test. It's coming up. It's coming up quick. I promised a couple students after being asked that I would make a video going over the practice test, okay? So here is the video that I made going over the practice test, and use it to try to understand the Common Core that you did not understand. Okay, so you want to understand the Common Core that you did not understand, that you have not gotten a 3, and you should know all your grades. And if you have any questions about your grades, go ahead and email me. I'm happy to tell you which ones you don't have a 3 in. But remember, you got that slip, that piece of paper that showed you the ones that you did not yet master. So the first thing that we're going to do is you're going to prove to me that you know how to add and subtract mixed numbers. So we have 4 and 8/14. 4 and 8/14, and we are going to add 1 and 6/7. First thing that you have to do, ladies and gentlemen, is make sure that the denominators are the same. You have 14, you have 7. In order to make them the same, you got to turn them both into a multiple that they have in common. 7 can turn into 7 or 14 or 21 or 28. 14 can turn into 14, 28. The first thing they could both turn into is 14. 14 is 14, so it sure can turn into 14. And 7 can turn into 14. So every piece that used to be a 7th breaks into 2 pieces, making it 14s. If I had 6, I now have 12. Okay? And then 8/14 already was 14s. 8 plus 12 is 20/14. And 20/14 is bigger than a whole. How do I know that? Because 14 is the denominator, and 14/14 makes a whole. So 20 is 6 bigger than 14. So therefore, when I take away 14, I still have 6/14 left. Gustavo, why'd you take away 14? Because it's a whole, right? It doesn't need to be a fraction anymore because it's a whole. So I'm going to add it to the other wholes. 4 plus 1 plus 1 is 6. So that answer is 6. That answer is going to be 6 and 6/14. Let's go to the next one. The next one is just subtraction. So for subtraction, we have 8 and 3/21. And we are going to take away 1 and 5/7. So 7ths can also turn into 21, right? And 21 already is 21. So we need to change both of their names, which that's all a denominator is a fraction's name, into 21sts. So this already is, so we'll just rewrite it as 3/21. But this one's only 7. So they need to break into smaller pieces. Each old piece needs to break into 3 pieces to turn into 21. And then if each of those broke into it, I had 5 of those, so now I have 15. Remember, you're just exchanging it for something equal to it. So I'm getting rid of 5/7 because it is now 15/21 because they were equal. So now if I have 3 and lose 15, it's illegal. I cannot do that. So I have to go over to the 8 and say, hey, 8, I need one of you. The 8's like, fine, I will only be 7 wholes. I will give you one. What do you need more of? I need more of these guys. Oh, 21st? I can make 21 of those because I am a whole. So therefore, when the 3 has help from the whole, it is now 21 bigger. So it is 24/21. And 24 minus 15 is 9/21. And 7 minus 1 is 6. So that answer is 6 and 9/21. Let's go to the next Common Core, which is very similar to the first one, except for you need to apply your understanding of adding and subtracting fractions. So the first way you're going to apply it is by figuring out this answer. So this one guy named Ziggy has basketball practice. He knows 3/10 of an hour is spent doing one thing, okay? And that one thing is shooting 3 free throws. 2/5 is practicing defense. And then the rest of the time is his favorite. He gets to scrimmage. So we would need to figure out how much time is spent doing the other things. So I'm going to add 2/5, which 2/5 is 4/10, right? Times 2 times 2. I'm going to add 3/10 and 4/10, and I get 7/10. But practice is not 7/10 hours long, luckily, because he would be done with no time to scrimmage. It's 1 hour long, and an hour is 10 tenths. So 10 tenths minus 7 tenths is 3 tenths. So therefore, he gets 3 tenths hours longer practice. What a lucky guy. Now, the next way you're going to apply your fraction knowledge is by comparing them, okay? You know ninths means you need 9 pieces to make a whole. You have 4. You know tenths means you need 10 pieces to make a whole. You have 3. So which one's bigger? Well, a lot of you guys would say, oh, ninths are bigger pieces than tenths. And you have more of them. So 4 ninths, it's bigger. That's it. And then other guys would be like, I have no idea. So if you have no idea, you can use this right here, which is cross multiplication, which is a phenomenal way to just cheat a little bit, but it's not really cheating. 9 times 3 is 27, so 3 tenths gets a nice 27 to represent it. 10 times 4 is 40, so 4 ninths gets a 40 to represent it. Which one's bigger? 4 ninths, because 40 is bigger. There, that should help clear up the picture. So that's Unit 1. You have 2 grades right now that represent your understanding of Unit 1. What are they? If they're 3s, why are you still watching this? Go to the next part. Well, I guess you could fast forward. But if they're not 3s, slow it down, rewatch that. Try to understand all of that. YouTube, Google math antics, adding and subtracting fractions. YouTube. There's many, many different things you can, and just be specific. If it's comparing fractions, put YouTube, how to compare fractions. It'll help you out. Now let's jump into unit number 2, which sees how well you guys understand your decimals. Decimals and fractions, they both represent amounts that are not a whole but not 0. Okay, they're the same thing, they're just 2 different languages. Is 8 a tenth or 10 times bigger than 8 tenths? Well, 8 is 10 times bigger than 8 tenths because it's like you have 8 tenths and then the 8 moves over 1 spot. So now it's 8.0 instead of 0.8, which makes it 10 times bigger. Which number has the biggest 9? Okay, let's see. They all do have a 9 in them. This 9 is in the thousandths place, so it's teeny tiny. It's not even a whole. It takes a 999 more to make a whole. But it's 9, so I guess it takes 991 more thousandths to make a whole. Either way, it's teeny tiny, right? So this is 9 tenths, close to a whole. This is 9 wholes. This is 9 hundredths. C. It's got to be C. Let's go to the next portion. Now, let's see if you know how to read and write decimals. So we have 5,000 and 205 thousandths. So whenever you have that and, pause. Okay? It's telling you, take it, break it into 2 pieces. Decimals, a lot of decimals are like mixed numbers, okay? 5,000 and means you're done with the whole number. So 5,000 and 5,000 and 205 thousandths. I need to end it 3 spots over because it has to have the name of thousandths. 205. Why are you on again? So it's 5,205 thousandths, just like that. This one I got to write in word form. So once again, we have a decimal. So just look at it like 2 different things. I'm going to hide that one with my mouse. 23 and. So stop. Write down 23 and then put the word and. And then it's a 6, so call it 6, and then you just need to say the name of it. So the name of it's 6, and it's 1 spot over. Remember, the fraction with 1 0 is tenths. So therefore, it's 23 and 6 tenths. 23 and 6 tenths. Moving on. Comparing, beautiful. So all you got to do is, once again, break it into 2 different pieces. Here's the decimal. 0. 0. Oh, man, before the decimal, they're tied. Got to go to the next number. Here's the tens place. 0. 0. Tied. Hundreds place. 8. 8. Tied. Thousands place. None, which is 0. None and 0 are the same thing. 0. Tied. They're tied. They're the same thing. They're equal to each other. Let's go over here. Before the decimal, 0, 5, which is 5. 5. 5. Tied. Tenths place. 0. 7. 7's bigger. Boom, we have a winner. It's A. Let's go to the next part. We have 8 and 854 thousandths. 8 and 854 thousandths. We're rounding it to the hundredths place. This is the hundredths place. Hundredth is a fraction. Sounds like a fraction. It has 2 zeros, though, so it's the second spot over. So we're rounding it to the nearest hundredths place, 8.85. So the question is it big enough to bump up to 8.86? And that answer is no, because the first digit going bye-bye is a 4, and that's not big enough to boost it up. Stahl, you lied, man. It's not 8.9. You're rounding it to the nearest hundredths place. So that's a typo. It is not, it is not 8 point, it's not 8.9. It's 8.8. 8.85. That's pretty ugly. Okay. And then we have 11 and 865 thousandths. Rounded to the tenths place. So that means we're done right there. So is it 11.8 or 11.9? 11.8 or 11.9? 11.9. 11.9. Why, Mr. Stahl? Because the first digit going bye-bye is a 6, and the 6 is big enough to boost it up. Almost done. We have 2 more questions. The last thing is you had to prove to me that you know how to add, subtract decimals in a different, like, you know how to apply those, right? So adding and subtracting decimals. First question is talking about Aiden. He's paying for him and a friend to go to the Lions game. He paid $50 for 2 tickets. So, oh, I shouldn't have wrote on here. $50. Oh, that's disgusting. For 2 tickets. You're too far in now. You got to keep going. He spent $5 and, oh my gosh, he should have stopped. 67 cents. I'm over it. Okay, so $50. He spent $5.67. So how much is left? You have to line up the decimals. I can't do it. I'm going to come over here to borrow. 1/10 is worth 10 ones. Borrow. 1 whole is worth 10 tenths. Borrow. 10 minus 7 is 3. 9 minus 6 is 3. 9 minus 5 is 4. And then the 4 falls down. Answer's 44.33. If I was done, I'm not done yet. So he paid $50. Mr. Stahl, can you just slow it down? You're not even making sense. You're right, I'm not. So if he had $100, this is why it will make sense. If he had, all right, so he had $100. He spent 50, and then he spent 567. So I jumped a step. Okay. So first, I got to explain to you why I got to 50. If I had $100 and I lose 50, hey, I have $100. I'm going to buy 2 tickets, $50. What do I have left? 50. Am I done spending? No, I'm going to spend on one more thing. I'm going to spend $5.67 on food and drinks. So since I only have 50 left after I bought the tickets, I now take 50 and subtract 567. And then, which I did right here, and then your answer is 44.33. And here, this lion weighs 249.50. This lion weighs 210. How much more does that lion weigh than the other? We're subtracting. We want to put the bigger number on top. So 249.54. And we are going to take away 210. See how even though it doesn't have a decimal, I'm going to stop it right there because it's a whole number. I have 4, I lose nothing, 4. And you could add your zeros. I have 5, I lose nothing, 5. I have 9, I lose nothing. I have 4, I lose 1. And I have, so that answer is he's 39.54 pounds heavier. All right. I hope this helps you. I hope you feel prepared for tomorrow's test, and I cannot wait to see all those wonderful grades. All right. Hey, thank you very much for watching. It shows me you care about your grade. Good luck tomorrow.